The lesson.
Oh, yeah.
If in 2010 you dropped your demo, then I think it was like not long after that, that's when you had your battle with Mandle.
Yeah.
You know, rest in peace. He passed away not long after that battle.
Nah.
And so, yeah, I guess I remember seeing that battle and I remember thinking, what the fuck? I can't remember why, but now that you said what you said, it's obviously because in my head, you guys rolled together.
Yeah, we rolled together and something happened and we fell out. And then when the battles came up, I just said to Decoy, listen, I'm going to battle, but I have to deal with something. And I'm doing shit at the same time. You can have the battle. I'm not going to charge you for it. Me and Mandle could have charged for it. We didn't. Well, I don't know. He might have, not me. I went there because I wanted to beat him. I refused to lose. I forgot my shit and still just fucking freestyle shit. Like, I was not copying that loss. Because in the freestyle battle scene, I wasn't as good. But in the acapella battle scene, I came in because it gave me time. Like, I could sit there and fuck with shit. Don't give me time to sit there and fucking, like, think about it and shit, because I'll come up with all sorts of shit. I'd sit there and just spiral out and come up with, like, 2-3 hours worth of material, and then I'd just find it down to what I wanted. Then I'd memorise it. I only ever had one time I forgot my bars. One time. Apart from that, I always remembered them. And it's hard to memorise bars for shit because you can forget. Like when I battled Zane, halfway through I forgot my shit, and you can see me in my head going backwards, and then I managed to like charge through it. Sometimes you just don't, and because like as I was getting further through the battle scene, I was getting worse as a drug addict. Like, you can see it. If you watch my battles, this is a quote. It's like faces of meth. I go from being big, just getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And like, that's just because I was abusing the drugs more. And when you abuse drugs like meth, you don't give a fuck. Like, I got to stages where I'm 6 foot and I was like 80 kilos, looking like Christian Bale in The Machinist. And I didn't give a fuck. I'd still rock up to the battle and do my shit. And if you had a problem, you get bottled or something. Like, I'm not going to sit there and cop it. Like, I'm just me, and like I knew what I was. So when I was getting to a real bad stage with the battling, I remember when I battled Asthmatic, I didn't even want to be there. They did like the pre-interview, and I'm like, fuck off, like abusing my own mate, my own manager, going like, fuck off, I don't want to fucking be here. And like you can see it as it goes along. Like life was getting more full on for me as the battles were going on, and the only battles I was getting offered were ones that I didn't want. Like, I didn't want to battle people I was friends with. Like I got offered Dribbles and Cursor like 20 times. I said no. I'm friends with these cunts. I'm not going to sit there and insult them, because if they insult me, I'll sit there and burn on it. Like. Because you'll be like, oh, fuck, like, that cunt fucking... It's like when Dribbles and Mandle battled, and then Dribbles changed his bars, because they pre-wrote that shit, so it would look like a spectacle, and then Dribbles changed his bars, and that's why in the battle, if you watch this, watch where Mandle says, oh, the second time this happened to me, what about the third time you bitched out to Vamps? That's a direct quote, because Dribbles bitched out to me multiple times. And he wanted to call Mandle out and change the shit in the battle. Mandle was a freestyler. Anyone who knows him knows you give him any alcohol or whatever, and he just does not stop. That's what he was known for. He'd just rap his head off. So there's no way that he was going to cop it mid-battle and not flip it back on him, you know? That's why I couldn't battle a friend.
And so, even though, because you talk about being offered battling Dribbles, and you were friends, but then you had... Or you were friends, but then you weren't friends?
Yeah, but then I still refused to battle. I just said, if you got a problem, we can fight. I'm not going to fucking battle you and make it look like we're going to sit there and talk about it and it's going to be all good. Like, you seen, like, when I battled Mandle, I was conflicted. I'm going to attack this cunt. Like, I didn't even care that it was going to happen. And, like, Greeley's and Decoy are trying to, like, diffuse shit in my head, because like, he's coming up with shit that wasn't true. And then I'm like, wigging out on him, like, this piece of shit. Like... And I could tell the bars that were wrote by other people. Like, I know what dribble structure is, so I'm sitting there like, my own mate wrote for me. You know what I mean? Who writes bars for your own mates. You know what I mean? I can't do that shit. I know cunts from the freestyle scene that wrote for cunts before battles and then used them on me in battles when I'm like, I did a whole round like, oh, this is my mate, da-da-da-da, because I don't know how to tackle that situation because it's my friend, I'm not going to insult him. And then just got insulted for like a round straight and then just turned. You know what I mean? Like,
and I guess when we're talking about, because the battle that you had with Mandle to me from, I mean, I think that was Got Beef.
yeah.
You know, that had a lot of like, you know, memorable battles on that platform.
100%.
That to me was one of the ones that I remember, A, because I think it was the first time I realized that you guys had a problem.
Yeah.
And then B, the battle, when I watched it from memory, it got very heated. There was like some pushing and shoving, and you could tell that you guys just wanted to punch on. Now, you mentioned, so obviously instantly when I'm watching, I'm like, this is a personal battle. Like these guys have some serious issues here. You mentioned that you guys had a falling out.
Yeah.
Can you go into what happened with that?
An argument ensued over the dishes in the house I was living at. I wasn't cooking food at the time, so I refused to do the dishes. I told this cunt, you need to do your fucking dishes, mate, and I'm not fucking doing them for you. Then he wants to kick up, so I said, all right, you can fucking get on your fucking wagon and move. And then when he's packing his shit, he goes, can I go into your room and collect some of my things? I said, yeah, go for it, mate. He walks in there and grabs a 1/4 ounce off me and fucking bugs. I fucking message him and go, you piece of shit, you stole off me after this. Like when I moved in with him, this isn't talking shit about someone, but I gave him my bed. I was staying on a mattress on the floor, rooting my missus on a mattress on the floor, so this cunt could have a fucking bed. And then like I was hiding bitches under beds, in fucking closets, pushing him out through windows and shit so his missus wouldn't find out. And then he throws me under the bus because I did something once. I was like, nah, I'm not tolerating it. Like, if you're my brother, last thing you throw me under the bus for is for women. Because at the end of the day, like, if my mate does something and their missus goes, what happens? I'm telling them exactly what happened because nothing happened. And if something happened, I'm not fucking saying nothing. Not going and telling someone's partner that you're fucking cheating or doing something like that when you're meant to be mates. It's like, hey man, if you had a problem, come address me as a human. Don't like go backwards and like go around and tell cunts that I'm the bad cunt. Like I'm not gonna have an argument with someone over dishes and stupid shit when I'm feeding you and helping you out with all sorts of shit, just over like chatty shit. That's why when it came down to it, I was like, yeah, the battles are popping off. I'm calling Mandle out. I'll fucking battle the cunt right out. I started that. And he knows that. Look, I started that off. I said, do you want to do this battle? He goes, 100%. I'm like, well, fucking, I'm coming for you. Like, I'm not going to fucking half-ass around. Like, he did have some good bars, but he lost his shit. Like, and at the same time, the way I rate a battle is if you're telling the truth. He was saying I was doing certain things that I wasn't doing. He was just lying because when you're on camera, if someone brings something out, someone could be like, you wear clogs and you chase people around the house. And people will believe that shit just because they've told someone. So like he was saying things in the battle saying that I was doing this and that. And I'm sitting there like, no, that didn't happen, man. So I was twisting. Because like in the battle, when I battled Cryptic, I had 3 drinks in one hand. I threw up in my mouth in the middle of the battle. Like it's on Greeley, but you can see Greeley and I'm holding my mouth shut with both hands. I was that much of an alcoholic. Like I had to decide whether to run for the toilets and throw up or to fucking throw up in the middle of the battle. I didn't want to be that cunt that it goes, rapper throws up in battle. I seen that flash in front of my face and I was like, no, I'm not having it.
I guess just to backtrack and to finalise the bit with the Mandle battle. So once the battle happened, you actually got given the win.
Yep.
And then was there an incident that happened directly after that battle?
There was a situation where I like offered to like take it to a violent stage and it got turned down. But like I ended up breaking my hand later in a fight unrelated to the Mandle incident. They were trying to say that I stole the win because one of the judges said I give Vamps the win because I'm scared of him or something. And if you look at the YouTube comments for that battle, cunts are acting like I was the worst cunt on the planet. All I was a Terry Tough, and I just wanted to prove this and that. But it's like, I wasn't doing that battle just to act like I was tough. That was the furthest thing from my mind. It's just, if people know what I'm like, I'm a loud person and I'm confrontational. So that's just how the battle was. Me and Mandle were like, you could tell we hated each other at this stage. Like, that's what I'm like. If I hate someone, I'll battle them. That's your way, like, of figuring out playing four-dimensional chess with this cunt. Like, I'm gonna fucking beat this cunt. I don't care what I had to do to beat him either. Like, yeah, I had to throw my head around a few times, but like, got under his skin, he forgot his shit. Like, if he had done that to me and I had fucked up, I would have chalked up the win to him and been like, well done. Purpose judged that battle. Crazy Eyes judged that battle, and I've bashed him. I bashed him with a fucking jug, like, full of alcohol, smashed it on his head and stabbed him in the side of the head 5 times with it. Ended up bashing the security at the fucking venue at the same time. I can't know, because Crazy Eyes battled me and made me look like a goose after being at his house, smoking hash with him, and then he used pre-written lines that he wrote on the day. So I bashed him down the stairs of the night train. And he judged the battle and he said that I won. And I bashed him. So why is it looking like I'm interrogating, like intimidating, like battle rap judges? Purpose is like I give the win to VAMPTS, you know what I mean? So like, I wasn't sitting there trying to make cunts like me. I still wasn't even really that well known back at this stage. I just went in with the energy that I went in with. That's all that was different, you know?
And then, so if it was like a year after the battle that Mandle passed away.
It was about 2 years after that. Like, it wasn't as soon, you know what I mean?
It was a couple of years after he passed away.
Like, we hung out at the Uyak battle. Me and him were drinking together and everything.
So
and
how did you guys sort of make the amends?
I made the amends. I seen him and was like, hey, brother, what are you doing? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, we were mates, bro. Like, get the fuck over it, you know? And he's like, all right, kill it. Then we'd hang out. We just fell out over stupid shit before he passed, and then we had a fight, and then like it was all sorted, and then yeah, he unfortunately passed away. Like, I still miss the cunt, 100%. He was my mate. But like, when you have falling outs with your mates, you got to own up to that shit, and like, that's what happened. I'm not gonna be different because someone's dead, but at the same time, like, I love the cunt, and it is what it is, you know. Like, I can't change shit that happened. It was fucked up. Because he just got his Centrelink house. Like, he just got his housing trust house. He just got a job. He just got everything, you know. And then that's just how finite life is, bro. So, like, I don't deal with cunts the same way that I used to, just because I wish I had dealt with him or with Dribbles a bit differently, you know what I mean? I could have been the bigger cunt and not bitten into this shit. But at the same time, I grew up with cunts saying, just don't cop shit. So at the same time, I'm not going to just wear it, but, you know, like, you got to accept your, like, part in the conflict, you know?
Well, rest in peace, Mandle, man.
Yeah, 100%. There's a lot of music that he released that never really got dropped, and, like, if anyone wants it, you just email me. I'll fucking send you the cunt. Like, he done a lot of shit, and the one thing that, when I seen him, and me and him talked, the one thing he said to me, he goes, I want my music to get out there. Like, there's shit that he done with Dribbles, like, when the sword swings and shit, that cunts don't know about, or, like, the double B fucking vinyl that they done, like, when you see us and shit. Like, if you look that shit up on the internet, you won't find it, but I got that shit.
The lesson. 927. Oh, yeah.